Okay, well, we've done R1, R2, and we've done RP1 and RP2. We've done D1, and according to the manual, we're up to Q5, which is at 2N7000, which are slightly static sensitive. So we're going to touch metal and do all kinds of things. And then we will take a 2N7000 out of the conductive foam and put that in for Q5. And their method shows thicker lines for the round part and the thinner line for the flat part. So we're going to put that in. Okay, and that is Q5. And I think it was Thomas who pointed out that he was worried that the KBT1 wouldn't fit when there's a noise blanker installed. So I'll try to push that down reasonably far. And I spread the pins out on the other end a bit. And then we need a 102, and we had I think, let's see, how many 102s did we have? Those are the .001s. We had 2 of those, so I think we have 1 left. There he is. And I'll show you the markings are none too large. Let me get a piece of paper so this thing will focus so you can look at it. We will focus, won't we? How is that? So that says 180 or 181, so that's definitely not the one we want to use. And these instead look better. And that one is here, and you can see that says, no, that says 100, so that's a 10. Looks like I must have bumped things on my sorting sheet up there, so it's a good thing I'm checking again. How about this? Is that better? No, that's still a 100. Oh, here we are. Here's my 2 102s. I was looking at the wrong color. All right, so what do you think of that? What do you make of that? That's not helping. How about this side? What do you got there? All right, one more try. Do you like this one? Boy, that one is super small. Not to mention it's on the bottom of the cap. Had these marked 102. The glare is quite amazing. I'll try to give you a picture of it. Finally, I have a picture of it for you. There you go. There's the 102. Okay, we'll put the 102 in. That is C5, or pardon me, C6. But if you look at the board, there's a C6 over here, but there's a C6 by Q5, which is in reality C9. So we'll put that in. All right, so we have those two. Then they would like us to put in C3, which is a 10 picofarad. And I believe I put those up here. And this is the one that should be marked 100, or 10 with a 0 multiplier. And that's that one. So that is C3. And there's Q3, C8, C3 over here on the edge. Okay, there's C3. And then I'd better start touching a few things. I should mark out the steps after we solder them. So we did Q5, and we did the C6, C9, because we have a Rev C board. And then C9 is the 102, we did that. Then this is the 100. And then C4 is a 103, we'll get that. And we have a lot of those. And I have to show you that again. Verification is important. What do you got? That's not an easy one to get focused on for you. There, I think you finally got it. Now you can see the 103. All right, so our 103 goes in for C4. And I think we've got plenty of leads to solder now, so we'll do that. All right, and I think we've kept the iron pretty clean. We'll give it a little bit of a tinning, and away we go again. Looks pretty good. We will ground to our grounded bench again. And my soldering iron is a 3-wire cord, so there's some added bonus there. If you can see that little sort of bubble look when it goes down the hole, that That one went down a bit too much. Okay, I think that's all the leads that I see sticking out. So I'll check them as I cut them off. And I think Q5 and C9 look good. Then C4 and C2. They seem to be somewhat magnetic. All right, what do you think so far? Starting to look like a noise blanker. Okay. So we'll go find C6. Which is a 103. That's these in the bottom left. And I'll show you that. Somehow that one focused pretty well. All right, that's going to be C6. And then we've got C1, which is a 181. I put that over here. And that is right there. I think you'll agree. There you go. And that is C1. By the way, do you guys see Forrest out? He had his KX1 with a AX2 antenna and a little plug-in speaker, and he was using it like an HT with a nice trailing ground wire or a radial. I thought that was pretty good. So he's got me in the mood to go try that. C5. Oh, I think I'm talking to you guys too much. No, C6 is a 0.01. And C1 is the 180. That's good. And C5 is a 0.01, which is a 103. And here you go. There must be a better way to get the light so that shows up. That's pretty good. All right, that will be C5. Okay, and we'll get all three of those soldered. Those are pretty good. We'll cut those off. Little inspection. Looks okay. All right, one more inspection. Looks okay to me. All right, so we'll mark those off. That was C1, C6, and C5. And we need to find C7, which is another 103. Looks good to me. Okay, that's C7. And then C11 is a 104. I must have knocked the 104s out of whack because they're not in the right spot. So here's a quick look at this one. You can check that. And the other side says 102. I'll put that back where the 102s go. And this one I think you'll agree that's a 104. That's what I see. So the 104 is going in for C11. And then it says if our PC board is a Rev C, it has a location for a C8 that isn't used, and that's what we have. Then it says if we have a Rev D PCB board, that we should install C12 and C13, which we don't have. Those, I think, go on later in an errata, I think. And then the trimmer C2, with its flat side, as indicated on the board. And you have to tell me if there is a flat side indicated on the board. I don't think that, do you think that silk screen has a flat side? I guess it would be the wider part of the circle, which may be closer to C3. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to take a pause and look at my noise blanker and make sure that that is indeed the correct way that that goes. So we'll take a pause in just a moment.